It is your boy Caliber 24/7. You know what date it is? It is a Sunday of the 4th of October, the first Sunday of October after NFP. And you know what kind of content I drop on every Sunday or Monday. I drop this dope content every week, preparing for this next coming week on the Forex market. So, other than that, it is your boy Caliber. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Make sure you do drop that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, and make sure that you do turn on that post notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the video. Yo, we back, and you can see here I was analyzing GBP AUD. I think that's the last video I did with you guys, and this was a screenshot for my thumbnail. Some things did happen. GBP AUD did drop for a good amount of pips, I won't lie to you. If you can check the thumbnail, it is exactly like this, and the market had not moved that much, and we did make profits out of this one. So we did have a drop down or a breakdown of this pair, so let's get into that one. Now, if you can see right here, this is the pair GBP AUD, and if you remember quite well, this is where the market was, and I said you can buy from this price, scalp the market all the way till the upside, right? I said if you want to take a safe entry, rather wait for the market to start playing from this price, then take it all the way to the upside, and it did just that. Mind you, I did remind you guys that this market is an overall selling market, right? Simply because we see this downtrend and this horizontal trend on a horizontal resistance and a downtrend of a resistance on 1 hour time frame, right? And the market went all the way up there and it sold. So it made more sense to me to can say I take a sell from there, and then I start protecting. Once it breaks below, I take more entries for sell. It drops till this point, probably I take my take profit, or rather I start protecting more. And then once it breaks below, there was a consolidation. Actually, I took a nice entry just about here. I don't know if I took a screenshot, but if I did, I'm gonna roll it up right now on the screen so that you can see this was a nice entry that I had taken on GBP AUD, and it dropped nicely. But what happened was I did not close the profits right there, because now I was still hoping or anticipating that the market will get into this point, right? What happened was GBP USD, GBP, all GBP pairs actually, they just went crazy. I think it was on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. The market started dropping drastically. The market went back to the upside. I don't know what was happening right there. And then Donald Trump also came in. He tested positive. This week, or this past week, was quite busy, right? So GBP AUD was a good analysis. The market did do exactly as expected. Right now, we are on the upside, or rather a bit on the upside. So from my analysis, from my side, you already know this is an uptrend, right? Simply because we are on the upside, but take into mind that we're still on a major downtrend, right? So what might happen here is the market might push to the upside, bounce there, make a perfect head and shoulders, and then the market will drop. If that's not the case, then what will happen, because the market is consolidating, it might just drop below. Once it drops below this price, then definitely I'm gonna take more of my selling opportunities and place my stop loss somewhere just above here, right? So GBP AUD, it's still good for a sell long term, but for now we are on an uptrend. So until it breaks below this zone, we are still looking to buy this pair. But mind you, on an overall market structure, we are looking for a sell on GBP AUD. So it's GBP USD, my baby right here. I love this pair so much, simply because it's so simple and it pays. This is my nest egg basically. You know, it does not pay like Nasdaq, but yeah, it's something close to that, especially if you know your entries. Man, GBP USD pays. Actually, all the GBP pairs, I have to say, GBP Euro USD, USD CAD, they do pay. USD JPY, not that much, but yeah, it's something that you can also take into consideration. However, without wasting more time, let's jump straight into the analysis of GBP USD. Like I did say, guys, GBP USD, it's a good sell. But now the problem is with this pair, right, is that we had to drop all the way till this point down here. But the market kind of created some structure. Remember, I said I remember quite well. I was talking about the ABC type of thing and all that. It made sense to me that the market would sell from this point. So I took sells. If I'm not mistaken, yes, I did take some sell entries just about here. Placed my stop loss somewhere above there, and then I got stopped out. And now the market was just playing above these two places. And what I had done, I don't know if I did take buy entries, I'm not quite sure, but if I did, I'll roll the screenshot right now on the screen, and you will see if I did make profits or losses. But one thing I'm quite sure about is that I took some losses, and then I kind of made some profit back. I'm not quite sure what happened this past week, simply because I was not really interested in trading. But if there are any interesting trades that I took, whether it be it losses or wins, I'm gonna put some screenshots right now on the screen. However, what is expected from the market right now, it seems like it's trapped between these two prices, right? And let me do this. Seems like the market is trapped between these two prices. Seems like the market is trapped between these two prices, and what might happen is it might play between these two zones for a while until it breaks one of the two, right? So either the market will go to the upside and break this zone right here, and overall direction will be to the upside, trying to retest that big zone, right? Or rather this zone right there. So it makes more sense to me to say GBP USD might go to the upside just a bit, but also why am I saying this is also because that the US currency is not looking good right now, since President Donald Trump has tested positive for COVID-19 and whatnot. So investors might be pulling out from the dollar, and as we have seen that Nasdaq dropped drastically last week Friday, and this is not looking good for the dollar. So it might push GBP USD to the upside. However, we are still looking that GBP is still strong towards the downside. So what might happen is the market might still continue, breaking to the downside and moving overall bearish. So with all that being said, we are still looking for the market to break one of the two levels. Until then, it's safe for you to take a sell. Once the market reaches this price, take a sell entry. Once the market reaches this price, take a buy entry. Your stop loss should be somewhere above there you're gonna take a sell. If you're gonna take a buy, your stop loss should be somewhere down below here. I hope that makes sense. So for GBP USD, the market is quite trapped between these two prices. It's not quite clear. So be sure that you take your entries very, very wisely, or rather place your buy stop just above there and place your sell stop just below here. That's if you don't want to take a sell at this point. That's if you don't want to take a buy entry at this point. So GBP USD is quite consolidating between these two places. Until there's a break of any of these two, then we are still trading between this range. Now this is Euro USD. Euro USD has all played some tricks on me last week. Remember, we are anticipating that Euro USD will sell. I was even sounding cocky. I said, I don't care what you tell me, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna sell this pair. And look what happened. This time around, I was so wrong. The market said, we're not gonna do what you always want. So what happened was the market pushed overall to the upside like GBP USD did. What I was expecting did not quite happen, but this is the major zone. So I believe that these zones that I have been waiting for, whether on GBP USD and Euro USD, are the type of zones that we call the obvious zones. So the market makers, they're not just going to give it away like that, right? So they know at this point, once they break that point, everyone is just waiting to sell more, right? So what they're doing is just taking small accounts out, doing whatever it is that they're doing, but remember the overall direction is still on the selling side. So it's okay to take a loss sometimes. You learn from mistakes, but as long as you do proper risk management, you should not have a problem with that. So as soon as the market started to break above this channel, I knew that the market was moving against my direction. So I cut my losses as soon as possible, and the market broke inside back to this zone or above the zone, and this is now back to the up channel or the uptrend or the buying side for the buyers, right? So this gives the buyers more momentum. So I'm now like thinking it's not worth me holding. So what I can do is rather watch this market very closely, and you can clearly see that the market is still strong, trying to push the market to the downside, because you can see the buyers here. The market has been consolidating, especially on Friday. It consolidated the whole day, and it makes no sense because it was NFP. The market had to push and move, but it failed for some reason. So like I said, Donald Trump testing positive, investors moving their money, and all that caused a whole lot of trouble for the stock market, even the currency pairs. So what's going to happen here is we on the uptrend, right? So it's either you take an aggressive buy right now, place your stop loss somewhere below here, and then your take profit should be between this zone right here or this one. So that can be your first take profit or your second take profit, and your risk ratio, if you look at this, is quite good, right? So it can be 1:3, 1:2, somewhere between. If the market does not buy, your stop loss is just below about here, and then should you be stopped out, then you're starting to look back into selling this market. So Euro USD is also looking good for a buy, like GBP USD as predicted. But anything is possible at this point in time. The market is consolidating, it's very choppy. It makes sense to buy on a support and sell on a resistance. It's quite simple, right? It makes no sense for you to say, no, the market is at a support, probably it's gonna break the zone, let me just take sell entries. It makes no sense. That's stupid according to me. I'm sorry if that's your type of strategy, but it makes no sense, right? It makes no sense. So rather buy at support and sell at resistance, and sell at resistance and buy at support. So it's just that simple. Makes no sense for you to buy at resistance and sell at support. Come on, what are you doing? What are you doing? So Euro USD is looking good for a buy, simply because it's on a support zone and it just broke above this um, super previous resistance, which was now a potential resistance, but now it's back to being a support, right? So yeah, we're looking for buys on Euro USD. Yo, this is USD JPY, and if you remember quite well, we took trades the previous weeks, right? And the market was just about here. We took these nice entries and all that. And all of a sudden, like Friday, like I said, Friday, I think it was somewhere around 6 p. No, it was 6 a.m. in the morning. I woke up and the market has collapsed all the way to the downside. What's happening? And all of a sudden, I hear these news: Donald Trump tested positive. He tweeted this, that, and the market was like so crazy on Friday. So seems like NFP happened before NFP, right? Because like NFP never really moved. So this drawdown happened so fast, almost came to the support, and the market tried to recover as much as possible. So GBP USD was supposed to continue selling, but because of all the structure that's happening on the market, I don't know what happened. So looking at USD JPY, we have been anticipating a buy for over 2 months now. The market has been quite moving strong to the downside, being stubborn, moving up, down, consolidating on a bigger time frame. If we can check on 4 hours. Now, if you can check on 4 hours, the market has been consolidating since from this week. I think it was is it the 31? Yeah, the week of August, the 1st of August, the first week of August is when we started to analyze this pair. And the market has been choppy, man. The market has been moving sideways, right? And finally, we took sales on this one. And I think last week we took a buy on GBP, on USD JPY, sorry. And right now, the market just dropped again to the downside. So this is the reason why I'm saying this is kind of stubborn, but eventually we're gonna get where we want it to be. So USD JPY is supposed to be moving to the upside. Hopefully next week it start doing that, but I don't see that happening simply because now of the negative news that are there on the US and all that. You know, investors taking their money out and stuff. Looking also on Nasdaq, how it's performing and all that. So it's not quite looking good for the dollar. That's why I said GBP USD might move to the upside, Euro USD might move to the upside as well. So USD JPY is quite looking good for a sell. I can just tell you that much. Also simply because now it's back on this previous specific zone. It's mostly likely to be a support because, like, looking at the previous data, the market has been bouncing off this zone, has been bouncing here, bouncing and moving to the upside, right? Every time the market touches this zone, it buys off. And now the market simply broke below. If you check this candlestick, it closed below this zone. So it gives a nice, good selling type of market, right? So it's possible for the USD JPY to drop this coming week, probably to retest this support zone for the maybe very last time, and then the market will start moving to the upside, right? So anything is quite possible at this point in time. We're not quite sure what's going to happen with the market. The best thing you can do is just to prepare. All right, USD JPY is still playing on this zone according to 1 hour time frame, right? We kind of broke this support zone right here. The market has been bouncing off this part, this part, this part, and this one, right? And almost this one as well. So the market broke below and it closed below, and it has been trying to reject. Eventually it broke above. Now it's trying to retest, but it's quite possible for it to retest, try to convince people it's moving to the upside, and then eventually drop one more time. So with USD JPY, I'm also seeing a sell on this pair and buying Euro USD, buying GBP USD, and selling actually USD JPY. So it makes sense for me to sell USD JPY, but it will make more sense when we look into USD CAD. Yo, look at this, look at this. USD CAD, I said it's good for a buy once it breaks above that. And if you check here, it has been failing to break above this zone. Actually, we did not take any buys on this one because it did not do any of the things we said it should do, right? But if you check real close or real good, the market kind of dropped and it broke below this trend line, and it has been failing to break this zone. So the market is actually giving us a good sell entry right there, because all the time it has been, you know, failing. And the moment it broke below this zone, that's the moment that we took sells on this pair. So for anyone who took a sell once the market broke just below this zone, then you made money on this pair. And it makes sense why the market would come to this price, according to me. That's why I'm saying probably this week the market will come to retest here. If you check USD JPY and you check USD CAD, you would see that these pairs are almost bouncing at some support level at this point in time. They are so close to the support level. And if you check Euro USD and you check GBP USD, they are somewhere in the middle of the market, right? They are not in the huge super support and resistance like USD CAD and USD JPY. USD JPY, that big zone that I was just showing you that it's supposed to go there right now, that's a daily support zone. Right now I'm looking at USD CAD, and this zone right here is from a daily chart. So this zone right here, it's on the daily, and this trend line, it's on the weekly. So this zone right here, what's happening right here, it's possible for the market to drop all the way just to retest this zone, and then the market will push to the upside. So remember guys, the market does not just buy. You know, it always has to come back rest a bit, and then it will continue with its journey. So what's happening with USD CAD? I see that the market is coming to this major zone like USD JPY, and then in due time the market then will start to move towards the upside, probably till that resistance zone, and from that point then we start selling the market. So it's possible that this week we are looking to sell the dollar and buying the pound or anything that's anti-dollar like Euro USD, GBP USD, and any other pair that has USD on it. Now, just to give you a quick analysis for this pair, if I am to take trades, I see there's an uptrend just about there. So this is what I do. Once the market breaks below this price, then I'd continue taking my sales towards the downside. Or what I do is I'll rather wait for the market to move like this, and then I'm gonna take my sell entries once it touches this price right here. Once it touches this price, I'm gonna take my sell entries all the way to the downside, and that's how you mainly make money with forex market. And my stop loss would be somewhere just above the trend line, right? So it makes more sense for me to say this price right here is actually the safest place for me to can take a sell. But should the market not go all the way up there and start breaking the price just about here, then I'm gonna take sell entries all the way towards the downside. So Euro GBP, it's been a while since we analyzed this pair. I remember drawing this trend line. That was a few weeks back. I think it was a month back, and we were quite interested in selling this pair, and it did sell quite nicely. And there's this nice movement to the upside simply because of that support, and that was our last take profit, right? So it made sense to us why the market pushed to the upside. Guys, price action is the most sweetest thing ever. So right now we are actually retracing on this. Either market rejects or it breaks, right? But there's always a reversal at this point, and if you can check, the market has tested this price almost about 3 times. It's just failing to break below, and there was this nice rejection. The market rejected quite nicely there and moved towards the upside. So for us to make sense out of this, we need to actually go to a bigger time frame. All right, guys, so it makes sense to me why I'm saying Euro GBP is actually looking good for a sell, right? So it made sense why it sold just about that price, because now this was an uptrend, right? So the market broke below, this is the price where we were quite interested from selling, simply because we saw that the market is now playing outside of this what you call a support trend. So we did make money out of this sell. The market found its support and pushed to the upside. Now it was retesting this trend line plus this super zone of a resistance, and now it's selling. So until the market breaks probably below this price, we are still on an uptrend, simply because now the market, what it can do is it can simply play between these two prices for as long as it wants, until either it goes above or it goes below. So it's really up to the market what's gonna happen from now, but the best thing we can do is just to prepare and wait for our market to do actually what we want it to do. So let's drop down to 60 minutes. Right now it's on a support. Chances are it will go all the way to the upside, come back, play just about like this, right? Or this can happen until the market breaks below this zone right here. Then we are not taking any sells. But should it break below this zone, then we are looking good to sell all the way till this price just about there, right? So for now we are actually looking good for a buying trend, and you put your stop loss somewhere just about there. Once the market reaches this price, then you start selling all the way to the downside. So I hope this makes sense with Euro GBP. Until any of the two movements happen, then we are not quite clear. But for now, the signal that I can give you, since we are on a support, using the simple support and resistance basic rule, is that you take a buy entry, place your stop loss just somewhere below, or what I'd do is place a stop loss below this low, right? So my stop loss would be somewhere just about there, and then I'm gonna take my entry all the way till that uptrend. But also bear in mind that we have something like this trend, so it will make sense for for you to actually take your entries, um, buy the market till this price, and then sell. Probably to also do this, and then eventually drop towards the downside. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure to drop a like on this video, share with family and friends. Also, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're new. Turn on the post notification bell so that you get notified every time I upload this new video. Comment down below on the comment section so that I know if kind of content is quite valuable and it's giving you the good quality trades that you're looking for towards each and every week. Other than that, it was your boy Kaliwa, and I'm out. Peace.